Hey guys, this is Dave from Tabletop Videos, and today I wanted to share with you my top 5 games from my Wall of Shame. So, what is a Wall of Shame? Well, a Wall of Shame is basically when you've been into the board game hobby for a little while. You start to collect games with the intention of playing them really soon. But one thing happens or another thing happens, and then the next thing you know it's on your shelf for 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years before you get a chance to play it. So these are the games that have not yet been played, and I have more than 5, first of all. These are just the top 5 ranked according to Board Game Geek. And some of these, I think I have maybe a justified reason for. Some of them, probably not. So let's just dive in with number 5, now that you know what it is. So this is my top 5. Out of, I think, 37, maybe more. Now, let me give you some caveats here first. Let me just save myself a little bit. First of all, this doesn't include any expansions. So any expansions that have come out for a game that I haven't played yet, I'm okay with that. Number 2, this does not include games that I've played before and liked, so I end up buying them, but I just haven't played my copy. So if I've played it before, that doesn't count. But these are games that I thought looked really interesting, and I really wanted to play them, so I got them. And I don't even know if they're good or not. They may be great. They may be beyond great. I mean, some of these, obviously, these are ranked pretty high. Some of these. So, all right. Also, one more thing. This does not include any games that I received in the last month. Okay, because I got a few shipments in from somewhere and got some games in there. So those don't count, because I think a month, if you're within a month, you're well within your right to not have played that yet. However, some of these games, none of these games they've been in there for a long time. All right, guys, so let's jump into with number 5. Number 5 is Antiquity by Splatter Games. This game is currently ranked 198 as of right now, and I basically bought it because I thought Food Chain Magnate was really good, and I wanted to play more games like that. And Splatter makes really, really good games. I have played Indonesia, have not played Antiquity yet, but it was recommended to me, and I have it, just haven't played it yet. But I've had this one for, I would say, less than a year, so I don't think this one's as bad as some of the other ones, but it's something I do want to play. I've heard really good things about it. So Antiquity by Splatter. All right, moving on to number 4 in the list. This one's a Stonemaier Games game, but I have a reason. So this game is almost a legacy type game. This is Charterstone by Stonemaier Games. I love legacy games ever since Risk Legacy came out. Of course, I never finished that one, so shh. But I did finish Pandemic Season 1, Pandemic Season 2, and I've picked up some other games based on Jamie Stegmaier's recommendation. There's a game called Rise of Queensdale, which looks really good, and it's got legacy type elements to it. And I'd never heard of the game until I saw it on his channel, so that was awesome. Of course, I haven't played that yet either. But Charterstone is definitely next. The problem is, a friend of mine just picked up Betrayal Legacy, and we've been starting off with that. So it's like, I really don't think it's smart. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know that it's necessarily the best thing to plan to try and have 2 legacy games going on at the same time. So once we finish Betrayal Legacy, I'm going to dive into Charterstone, see who's interested in that, and get a group of people together, and we're going to play some Charterstone. Really looking forward to trying this worker placement legacy-ish game out. Number 3 is Forbidden Stars by Fantasy Flight Games. This is a worker... No, it's not a worker placement. It's an area control game. I don't know if there's worker placement or not. I haven't played the game. So it's a area control game, and I know that each of the different starting races, I guess, have different powers. So it looks really interesting. It really looks like my cup of tea. I love engine builders. I like area control. It looks really good. It also looks a little bit intimidating to just bring out one day and say, hey, let's play this. So it's one of those games I'm going to have to sit down with and dive into and kind of really understand it all before I can teach people how to play. So I received this as a gift. I want to say this is probably at least a couple years ago. So this one's on the list as being one of those that I've had for a while and just haven't got to the table. So Forbidden Stars, hopefully I'll get this out by the end of the year. That's the plan. That's my thinking right now. By the end of the year, I'll have played it, and I might even do a review on it. even though it's been around for a few years. So, okay. All right, moving on to number 2, another Fantasy Flight game. This is Imperial Assault, the Star Wars Imperial Assault, also by Fantasy Flight Games. This is the little miniature game. It has multiple different play modes that you can play with the mastermind and heroes trying to defeat the mastermind. You can play it in a skirmish mode, and I've got everything for this game. I have everything that's come out. When something new comes out for it, I pick it up. And I've never played it. I don't know if I'm just a hoarder, a collector. I don't know what you would call that. But there's a lot of little mini expansions. And I'm not just talking about the expansions for the game. I'm talking about the hero packs. I'm talking about the villain packs. I'm talking about... Now, there's one exception. There are also skirmish playmats that you can get. You can use the board pieces to make the skirmish areas, but it's so much nicer if you have a playmat. I guess. I don't know. I haven't played the game yet. So... I think part of this is because it goes back to a whole thing. It's like, oh, the miniatures aren't painted. So there's this awesome guy named Sarastro, link below if you want to check him out. But he does fantastically high production painting tutorials that are just amazing. And I've started painting them. So, I mean, I've got a few of them painted, but I think part of it is I had this mindset where, oh, I have to paint everything before I play it. And that's not the best mindset to have. I think the better mindset to have is say, hey, let me look at the first mission. Let me paint all the stuff from that, and then I can play the first mission. And then you'll slowly start to get more and more things painted that way. So that's going to happen soon. That's definitely going to happen by the end of the year. And again, Sarastro is an amazing tutorial guy. He makes his own music, this guy. This guy is incredible. Definitely worth checking him out. Links below in the description. All right, we're moving on to number 1. Now, number 1 is a game that a friend of mine recommended to me. And he's like, I think it's probably one of his favorite games. And this is currently number 12 on Board Game Geek. And it has to do with a certain hobbit and his friends, and they're trying to destroy the ring. And basically, the game is War of the Ring, published by Ares Games. This game reminds me a lot of Star Wars Rebellion, where it's basically a 2-player game. I don't know if you can play with more, but it's a 2-player game, and it just seems massive. There's like 3,000 miniatures in it or something like that. Maybe not that many, but there's a lot of miniatures in it, and it looks good. I mean, it looks really good, just like Star Wars Rebellion is too. But it's another one of those intimidating games that I feel like I really want to sit down and have someone teach me this game. I mean, maybe at Dice Tower this year, Dice Tower Convention, which is in a couple weeks. Whew, hard to believe. It's exciting. Dice Tower Convention, I can convince someone to teach me the game. Probably my buddy Andre, who got me into all this whole board game thing to begin with. So that's number 1. Wall of Shame games, they do get played. It's just, sometimes it takes a couple of years. Speaking of Wall of Shame games, what games do you have in your Wall of Shame? What's your top 5? How many do you have? First of all, give me just give me a number, and then tell me how many of those you haven't played yet. I'm really curious as to what those are. Which of these games should I play first? Of these 5 that I've just listed, which is the best one in your opinion? Don't forget about the rankings on Board Game Geek. Everyone has their own different types of games that they like. So really anxious to hear what your games are and what your thoughts are on this video. If you like what you see, subscribe. And that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and go play some games.